Hello, AP English Language and Composition students. This is lesson 21, creating, composing, cause-effect technique explanations for stylistic analyses. With lesson 20 in your mind, my explanations of the techniques and how they're working in the ashram passage, this should be at least very clear to you and fresh. So we're going to look at several student examples, and maybe I'll say what's strong, what's weak, but I'll try to add in a little more explanation or detail. So this first one, actually, I'm going to move that up a little. It isn't bad at all. It starts out very well, giving a good idea of what the technique is, where it's going, but what is it missing? Let's look. So when we read aloud, there is a beat within the words that creates a sense of beauty. And that's supposed to exemplify diction of some sort. What's wrong? We don't have any excerpt. We have to give the reader the supporting details. So we would need to state successive clauses end with the rhymed words clear and year, referring to the day and the wind, creating a heightened poetic beauty that the author sensed in the qualities of the wind. Something like that. Okay, so we do need the detail. Moving on. Another example of diction making things obvious is in the 22nd line. You don't have to state the lines. With each phrase beginning with the word sometime and ending with an adjective or adverb. Mostly they ended with adverbs, ly, if it was just a phrase. This causes the reader to feel a sense of drifting, like the snow being carried by the wind. Well, here we have the cause, here we have the effect, but we're missing what would go in between there. This is very wordy too, but so the word sometime, I'm going to try to fill this in, beginning successive phrases and some clauses ended with adverbs of opposition. For example, sometimes swiftly or sometimes slower, and also sometime broader, sometime narrower. Conveying the contradictory nature of the wind. So the wind will swoop around on itself and almost create a circle. I think at one point he does describe how it swirls around in a circle. So we get that contradictory nature of the wind through the sometime being paired with adverbs of opposite meaning. And we need to include that. We need to include such a much more detailed explanation. Now, this person says it expressed the drifting of the snow. I gave a different idea about it. So let's keep moving though. I'm going to read this to you, and I'll tell you what there is in error here. Just as he did with the syntax, Roger Ascham strategically uses the diction. Well, she was just writing a body paragraph. It's good. She was actually including the idea of a transition, letting us know what had come before she moves on. So that's good. Good topic sentence. Just as he did with the syntax, Roger Ascham strategically uses diction to leave the reader with a feeling of breathlessness. So our topic sentences should be cause-effect. Diction causes breathlessness. Cause-effect. Technique causes this effect. Yes, in the future we'll learn even other ways to begin, but for now that's good. Anaphora and rhymes help to create the images of beauty and the sense of gustiness. there's a problem. It's possible to have a topic sentence that has multiple ideas in it, but the whole paragraph would have to have the different topics within it, but probably better to just have the one idea and not go into a new idea until you support that idea, then move on to a new paragraph. So that's what we should do here. So we want to explain how that diction creates breathlessness, and she's starting to do it here, I think. For example, Asham uses words such as sometimes, marvel, and repeatedly. Sometimes, used heavily near the end of the first paragraph, presents lots of parallelism. Is that expressing breathlessness? No, it is not. She is not succeeding in explaining the cause-effect, how it's working. Now, if she had started with and, I already explained how that would work. So and in successive clauses, starting new ideas, makes us feel that the speaker, the author, is rushing to tack on new descriptions in a hurry, which expresses a form of breathlessness. You could also say starting new clauses with and makes us feel almost that an incompleteness because it's not supposed to be done all the time. And so it's beginning something in the midpoint, as if something were left out to show a feeling, which leaves one with a feeling of a rushed flow. So something like that. So anyway, she is missing her explanation on how the breathlessness is expressed. Even marvel adds to the beauty and gives the wind a more regal, almost otherworldly feeling. Well, that's not related to breathlessness. Everything should be related to your first point. But it could be marvel used for the first two times in the final paragraph expresses the author's attitude of being very impressed, as if his breath were taken away. She could just write that. When something is that, especially when we know there's a biblical allusion to something very extreme. So sometimes techniques work together. The and the marvel can work together. And you should probably focus on those together, since they are together in the last paragraph. So you could start the whole paragraph with and marvel, how they work together. We get the idea of breathlessness with successive clauses that seem to start in midpoint. The word marvel, then, is a tone, an adjective. Here it's a noun, but it's a tone that, when this is understood as breathlessness, does fit with it. That one is spellbound and has lost one's breath, being so extremely impressed with the myriad qualities of the wind. So, I don't know if I'm running out of time, but yeah, we'll look at another one. Roger Ascham patterns his writing with anaphora and rhyme to imitate the beauty of the wind and express marvel. Oh yeah, that word should have gone down there. To imitate the wind's beauty, rhyme contributes rhythm, flow, and to the piece. The flow, the rhythmic lines, such as the sun shone bright and clear according to the year, ties, we don't want any punctuation there, ties the thoughts together while showcasing the marvel and beauty captured by his words. Right? What is analysis? Analysis is breaking something down into detail, to little pieces, breaking something down to its little pieces to understand it and explain how it works. So it's okay to cite something a little bit longer sometimes if you take a piece out of it, right, and explain how it works. It's the case here. The rhyme words could be taken out, like I explained before, right? So let's look at the very last paragraph here. Anaphoras present variability as well as breathlessness, allowing the reader to experience the excitement and awestruck feeling. Well, there's no cause-effect explanation. It's just, these are the technique and this is the result, but no how at all. So that's not good. But I think I've explained enough in the earlier parts. The and is the anaphora, especially sometimes the word sometime too. Thank you.